Thank y'all so much. Hello, Happy Waffle. Wait, that Happy Waffle. Jeez, those guys are closed. Hello, Old Sal's.
Really? Are you kidding me, right?
I have had a lot of caffeine in me, sir. Hello, Old Sal's. Hello to the new regime at Old Sal's. Everyone, buy coffee, buy sandwiches, buy ice creams. Yeah, I got a few poems and a few short stories and a few comedy bits here. We're going to open with a very short piece called Calendar. I have got a calendar full of therapy appointments and open mic reminders, as if there is a difference. As if there is a difference between those two kinds of things. That was all. This is a brief Christmas bit. This is a little piece called Me, I Want a Hula Hoop. Music producer David Seville, according to police reports, snapped last night under the pressure of churning out music hits. He broke into the recording studio at 3 in the morning with some small woodland animals he stole from the city park. Surviving tape paints a grim picture of Seville's mindset, ranting incoherently about how the Chipmunks were singing some Christmas song incorrectly. Police warn that David Seville is armed and dangerous. If you see a dark-haired man screaming, "Alvin! Alvin! Alvin!" do not attempt to apprehend the man. Call the tip mine immediately. This guy is crazy. This Dave Seville guy thinks that chipmunks talk to him. So that was that. Is that my coffee? That might be my coffee.
Mine's over there.
So yeah.
Wait,
Wanted to make sure you didn't grab.
part of the...
It's part of it now, yeah.
Is that my car?
Subliminal advertising.
This is a poem called The Distance Between 2 Points. I often think about how much of my personal culture is based upon growing up during the early cable television days, when it was just the local network channels and 3 New York City superstations, WWOR, WNYW, and WPIX. I had more New York City television stations than Utica or Syracuse or anywhere else nearby. I thought Manhattan was just south of Albany. I wondered why Goya Boya beans weren't at the local PNC, why there were no Carvel ice cream shops around, why I couldn't eat with Fudgy the Whale or Cookie Puss, why I couldn't go to the Young People's Day Camp with the big smiley faces that played in between the innings of the New York Mets games. We had a Canadian channel on our cable system from Kingston, Ontario too. Half the children's shows I watched were from there on the CBC from across the St. Lawrence River. I still reflexively spell fiber with an R-E. I still spell color and honor with a U. In college, people would call me out on it. "Oh, Mike, you think you're British like Madonna?" No. It's just the residue from early cable days. I grew up with Canadian channels and New York City channels, and not so many channels from where I actually grew up. And they shaped me both for good and bad in those days before the 300 channels came and blew out the whole game. Thank you. And I have 2 more pieces. I hope I'm not using up too much time here. This is called Miracles. There are miracles, but they're rarer than we care to admit. There are miracles, but they don't come on command. There are miracles, but sometimes we don't see them until it's too late. There are miracles. Stop pushing. It will only make it hurt more. There are miracles, but stop pushing. It will even make them less likely. There are miracles. Maybe in 200 years, we will know why they happened. But right now, they look like miracles, and that's what really matters. There are miracles, like places like this. There are miracles, maybe only at random, maybe only in fashions that seem random to our minds with our short, short lives. There are miracles, but they don't come when asked for. You could wait forever for one, and then two could come in the next hour. There are miracles, but they're not on our time. There are miracles, but they're not on our dime. There are miracles, I wonder how many I've missed. There are miracles, I wonder how many I thought were just something else, something more mundane, just accidents, just coincidence. There are miracles, and maybe they're just accidents, but they have meaning anyway. There are miracles. There are miracles, and that's just what people are. We are half-aware eyes here to interpret magic in coin flips, in dice rolls, in happenstance, in random chance. There are miracles because we see them as miracles. There are miracles, and so I am waiting. There are miracles. I'm not demanding, but I'm certainly waiting. I'm waiting as long as I can to see one happen. And this last piece is a little longer, so I'm going to sit for it. As I've said a few times here, I'm lucky enough to be part of a short story writers group at the Little Falls Library Wednesday nights. One of the other people here is another one of the writers in that group. I think she may be reading later. And every week they give us a word, and we have to write a 500-word short story involving that word. Some of the other writers have other rules. I only stick to those two rules, 500 words, and you have to use the word. And so this week that I'm reading from, and I would also like to let you know that on Thursday the 17th, we will be doing a recital of many of our writers here, back there at the bookstore here for the third Thursday on the 17th. So please, if you like this kind of stuff or you just want to support local creatives, come by, check it out. Anyway, the word from this week was never, and this is called The View from Above. If he'd been a smoker, that would have been the day they began to fall in love, Nathan and Amelia. It was the bathroom break in the middle of a 3-hour seminar where the professor made them watch an interminably long John Ford classic western, under the threat that if they fell asleep, he would fail them from the class. Never mind, the screening wouldn't end until past 10 o'clock at night. The fool thought it made him deep to force these movies on the students. And since he was a staff member who always went on the Today Show to talk about television trends, the dean never called him out on his pretentiousness. Still, at least the students got a break halfway through. Standing outside of time, I can tell you how things would have happened had they gone differently. If Nathan had smoked, if he'd had a cigarette to offer her when Amelia came up short, it would have started a conversation that would have led to Coffee Saturday, where they mocked that professor together, and would eventually led to their marriage, all on the way to that one cigarette. Nathan also would have died of lung cancer at the age of 57, a newly minted grandfather, leaving Amelia widowed from her college sweetheart, all before she could even retire. That was the weight on the other side of that cigarette scale. But that didn't happen. Standing outside of time's causality, I can tell you all the other ways it could have gone, but that isn't how it went. In this timeline, instead, Nathan never smoked cigarettes. He lived until 87 and eventually married an entirely different woman he didn't meet until his 30s. Amelia ended up leaning into her bisexuality and marrying Juliana, the girl she was roommates with at the time. They bought out the Blue Ridge Goat Farm in Brattleboro, Vermont, and had nearly 30 cats together. It's so easy from here, from outside time, where I can parse all the alternatives, play it forward and back. It's not so simple from where you stand, riding the torrents of wave functions collapsing behind you, pushing a potential futures like a zipper into one eternal locked in now. But from here, from above, it's easy. During the break in the middle of the insufferable cowboy movie, Nathan stepped out. Not for a smoke, but just to be woken back up by the Syracuse December cold. And when Amelia asked for a cigarette, all he could tell her was, "I'm sorry, I don't smoke tobacco." repeating a joke going around campus for those who didn't smoke cigarettes but did use marijuana. She laughed, but that was that. They developed a casual friendship and even hit the same bong at a party once, but that was that. Him off to his ripe old age, and her off to her goat farm. You don't get to know what's going to happen next in this life, but you get to live it. I myself am stuck out here, never experiencing anything, let alone knowing the joy of the horror of even one surprise. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Deanna and Erica.